All right, Fairest Lord Jesus is an old hymn, but we've had here at Westgate, we have done a new and a revamped version of this hymn, which is super fun. I'm going to be playing this in the key of D, so the scale tones are D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So whatever you're playing in this key, those are the notes you would play. And then according to whatever worship leader or at whatever campus you're at, that'll change depending on who's leading, so transpose accordingly. The keyboard part in this song is pretty simple. There isn't a lot that is going on. Just most of the time, you're going to just be playing a lot of block chords. One of the things I do want to point out is that each of the verses come out with this really strong stretch of like D. So there's like D, D sus, G over D. So it all has this sense of D in the bass. And there's just little moving notes. Like if you just hold this, I'm basically doing 1, 5, 1, 5 across the board. And then for D sus 2, you just might throw in just the E for that 2, or G, or if the G over D, you might throw that, or even D sus. You might want to do that. So there's a lot of things, and we just kind of want this to be kind of flowy. So you can throw in some of those suspensions in that stretch of it, but just be tasteful and be able to listen to wherever you are in the music. But don't fall asleep, because the only part, you hold that out into that second line, and when that E minor comes in, we want you full in on those block chords and covering a lot of that. And then one more thing is in there, there's a stretch, and I think, I'm just gonna take verse 1 for example, of Thee will I cherish, Thee will I honor. Now so just watch at that one point. So it has that D that covers that full measure and a half a measure of D. You don't need to re-emphasize that D. You can just hold that Thee will I, 1, 2. So when you go to that E minor, then you can change that chord, and that same happens, I think, again throughout the other 2 verses as well. So why don't we take a shot? Let's play through this. So here we go.
Fairest Lord Jesus, Lord of nature, all of God and us.
Hold it over. Hold it over again. And then it repeats again on verse 2. The E minor for the chorus. And then it goes back into that verse 3. So that's essentially most of the song. There's one other thing that's really difference between that verse 1 and verse 2 is on that second line of there's the Son of God, Son of Man. There's that walk down of that of Son of God and E minor to D and then to that A. So just make sure that's really the one of the huge key differences between verse 3 and all the other ones. And if you're just curious on some of the voicings I'm doing, there's I think there's one section of like about my soul's glory. I'm sticking on the 1-5 a lot. So the 1-5, that very last line, thou my soul's glory, joy, and crown. I'm sticking that 1-5 because that covers B minor 7 with the 5 and 1 at the top, with my 1 and 5 with the B and the F sharp in the bass. And then I can stick on that same voicing with the 3 in the bass. And again, with a D over G. And then I like that A sus on that A chord instead of playing that true pure A chord. So that should be Fairest Lord Jesus.